Until then, I'm sure you'll make a killing.
What is up, Chocolatiers? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking about how to make a killing. I got so much to say about this film. I enjoyed it. When I was going to go make my thumbnail for this video, because I do that before usually I do the reviews, because I was like on the first one on the way home, or like in the next movie I'm watching, I'll just be like, oh, let me pull up a cool picture and go make the thumbnail or whatever. I was looking at the score on this show. I was like, why is it so low? How to Make a Killing stars Glen Powell, who I do like. That's why I went on that little rant. Like, what has Glen done but give us bangers? Okay, I like his filmography so far. I think this is my favorite Glen Powell starring, put that out there, starring film, because he's been in a lot of like like Top Gun, like he's not the main character in that, but like this is like who's main character. This might be, I need to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure it's my favorite. He's in this film with Jessica Henwick, and you've got Margaret Qualley. Margaret Qualley, never see her in a movie I don't like her in. This is the first. Jesus Christ, what a villain she fucking played. What an evil woman. He's basically coming from riches and got all this money, whatever, blah, blah. But he doesn't really get to enjoy it because before he's even born, his mom is kicked out of the family for simply not wanting to get an abortion and kill him off, I'm assuming because his father was a nobody. And it ends up being a film where he's trying to kill 7 of his family members because he realized, guess what? He didn't get removed from the will. So, or I guess the whatever. And so he's going to get this money. And he's excited to get this money. And I don't fucking blame him to get this money. And over the course of the film, that's exactly what it does. It literally plays like a Hitman video game, with a lot of dark comedy interplay. Like there's so many times like where he's like doing shit, and I was like, I would have done that in Hitman. Like for example, you see in the trailers like we puts like the anchor on the dude's the thing or whatever. And like I was like, oh yeah, that's some Hitman shit. At one point he squirts up to somebody's drink, and it's so fucking slick. And I was like, dude, Hitman. This felt like a Hitman adaptation, damn near, a good one. And so you've got really strong performances from Glen Powell, from Margaret Qualley, mainly from Margaret Qualley. She plays this role fucking awesome. Even though I didn't like her in this movie because I was like, damn, fuck off. Okay, Margaret, I love you. You need to quit. Plays that role like a heart. She's just on it. Evil, conniving. You can't trust her. Then when you do trust her, you're like, fuck, should I have trusted her? One of those type of roles, right? Jessica Henwick is not in this movie as much as I wanted her to be, but she is good in this film whenever she does show up. It has a lot to say. Like it has a lot to say about, for example, like earlier on in the film, they say something that I say a lot, where I think that the biggest lie that everybody's been taught is that money doesn't buy happiness, because that's the biggest load of bullshit I've ever heard in my life. I say that all the time. So when Glen Powell said it in the movie, I was like, yes, you're preaching to the fucking choir, buddy. Because so many times you'll see, even like, for example, like that, taxes coming up, tax season. Okay, I think it already is. It's happening. Okay, you get the tax time cars. Okay, even though they know that it's buying them happiness for a little bit, it is, damn it, and it does. It really does. Like every time you get like. And I'm not saying I'm not saying you should be material. That's the movie actually makes a good point of being like, you shouldn't be. But what I'm saying is like in the film, there's so many times like where he, like for example, when he gets a big penthouse like that, and he's like, it's nice to live in a not shitty place and actually have something that you can call your own. It's nice to have a doorman. It's nice to have a nice car instead of a little shitty thing that he's sitting in. Like, that is nice. And guess what did that? Money did that. And so, even like that, the movie also does not hold your hand. There's like one of the family members I think there's only one that's good, that's an okay person. The rest of them, the worst fucking people I've ever met in my life. Like, kind of like Ed Harris's character. He's the main boss. He's like the grandfather. Okay, he got all the money. He's the one that's like, you know what? I know you got pregnant. You like this guy. Fuck off. No, you're cut off. Get out. And it's like, damn, you gonna do your grandchild like that? That you ain't even met? Didn't even want to meet your grandchild? Didn't even go to this girl's funeral. Wouldn't even let her be buried in the family plot. Didn't even go see her when she was dying. What the is it that serious? They're awful people. So that's why it's like a dark comedy the way it relates, because so much of this, like every time you get a death, you'd be like, yeah, fuck these people. And it's played off so funny. There's so many, like for example, when Jessica Henwick and Glen Powell first share their first kiss, something crazy happens in the background. I thought it was fucking hilarious. I think I was the only person that found this movie hilarious. So I will say that. And that's why I'm giving you a grain of salt on this. I don't know if because I like this, you'll like this. If you watch my reviews and you think to yourself, wow, whatever Mr. Chocolate likes, I usually like, fucking put a pin on that one on this one. Because my audience, woo! I don't know what they thought. Usually I'll listen to some conversations on that. Nobody talked afterwards. I actually frankly don't think they liked the ending. I appreciate the ending. I thought it was pretty good for what they did. I was like, that makes sense actually. And it's sad. Makes sense though. And there's so many times where like in the film something funny would happen, but it was like kind of fucked up because like, you know, dark comedy. And I'd be like, ha, not a chuckle. Not a fucking chuckle. It could have been my audience, but it also could just be the film. I might have liked it more than you did. And so I should throw that out there. And so yeah, with that, comment down below, let me know your thoughts on this film. Did you like it? Or you like most of the critics and potentially audience on this film, and you just think it's okay? I thought it had great performances. I thought that it had great direction. There's some pacing issues here or there. It's a little slow in parts, but I was like, it's a pretty good movie. Pretty. I was entertained. Okay. So with that, I'm gonna give this an 8.5 out of 10. I think it's very solid. I think it's very great, actually. And I recommend it if you are into these type of films. If you're not into dark comedies, if you're not into Glen Powell, if you're not into this and that, whatever, you're not gonna like this. But if you are into those things, if those tick your boxes, if you like Margaret Qualley, you're gonna like this film. And so yeah, it's got the little A24 vibe, like I said, mainly with the ending and so that it's very like you got quirky things that'll happen that wouldn't probably happen in a regular movie. And so yeah, if you like that, you like stuff like Eternity, you like stuff like Marty Supreme, whatever, you're gonna like this movie. And so with that, like, subscribe for more. Catch you guys on the next one.
Wait.